Good evening and welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting on June 2nd at 6 o'clock. And would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good evening. First up is citizens' input. Now, this is the time that any citizens wish to speak on agenda items or anything else that the board agrees to allow. So now is that time. Is there anybody on Zoom? No? Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to speak? Sure, Mr. White.
I have an issue.
Sure.
Criminals, so I don't get out of hand. Okay, I'd like a my name's Robert White, 3 Town Hall Road. I'd like a combination to the gate on the railroad, abandoned railroad bed going into Merrimack. A combination, because that's the only access I have to my land at this time. Just like a combination to the gate so I can access my land. I have a deed, the conservation, the Board of Selectmen, the town all voted on the railroad bed in 2002. They recognized it in another town vote in 2 different warrant articles in 2009. I'm sorry, I smoke. They recognized it in 2009, and I was gonna look the location up. I looked the location. I found it. When Robin got hired, I asked the Board of Selectmen to find it. I never got a reply, so I found it, and it was the railroad bed. I'd like a combination to the gate, please. Thank you for gating it.
So, Bob,
My deed goes,
access it, you can't drive out there. You can still walk through the
It's
gate.
considered a Class 6 highway.
Bob, we're not, our lawyers have already spoken about this. We're not authorizing you to drive on that.
So,
We're not gonna let it happen.
okay, I have my compost, my worm castings. I can get rid of them in the front of Deluxe Ave, correct?
I have no idea what you're even talking
Plenty.
about.
No deluxe Ave.
There is so. I've been getting taxed on it since 1958, and my taxes are paid up to full.
So,
So there is a Deluxe Ave, mister. Sir.
when our lawyers and your lawyer went through it, there was a town vote to not allow motorized vehicles on that road.
In 2002, they voted, they recognized it. It was a problem with me. I stayed very quiet from 2002 until my vote, and it passed. So what vote are you talking about?
Bob, I can't pull up all that stuff right now. So,
So I can't have a combination to the gate, or can I?
no, you cannot have a combination of that gate.
Fire.
What's
I
that?
can't have a fire, a barbecue, or nothing down
The
there.
board can't decide any of that.
The fire department can,
Deluxe Ave is not an
and they're right there.
911.
I,
There's not going to be interaction between the public and the fire chief tonight.
Thank you very much. So what do I do now? What do I do? I can't drive down. What do you mean I can't drive? That was my access. I drove down there for 13 years prior. I questioned it. You guys were supposed to ask me permission. If I went to the vote and I questioned, I have a tape. I didn't bring the tape. I have a tape where you guys all said no problem, and then you gave me a problem. No, I got the tape. I'll go get the tape.
no, Bob, this board did not say that. This board, current board, did not say that.
I did this 30 years, buddy. I've been paddling.
And I completely understand, but after you brought it to us and we opened it all up and had our legal team go through it and everything else, we can't allow motorized vehicles on that road.
Am I gonna get compensated for what I lost downtown Hall Road? Am I gonna get compensated for what I lost downtown Hall Road?
I don't even know what you're talking
That's
about.
Deluxe Ave. That's a Class 6 highway with frontage. I'm losing that by losing my deeded right-of-way. It doesn't make sense. A deeded right-of-way. Am I misunderstanding? I'm misunderstanding.
The board is only going off
Okay,
what
the board does-
what our lawyers tell us.
Well, the
And our
town is something.
lawyers told us
What?
that it's not allowed to have motorized vehicles on that road.
Not the peanut trail. My side is not the peanut. It says right on the sign down there, the peanut trail starts here, not there. Okay, and that was mine. I had a run-in with a lady and she just made it difficult. I'm not saying nothing, but I lost in 2002. I had a problem with the town. That's when this whole thing started. Back in 2002.
And that's when I believe, without me looking it up,
People recognized it.
is when the vote was to not allow motorized vehicles on it. There was a town vote to not allow motorized vehicles on it.
It's just- okay.
Subsequent because of the lawsuit, that's why.
No, they blocked it off, and I went to the meeting and I asked if the guy, if he wins, do I lose my access? And you guys said no. The board said.
And
no.
I understand that.
The board. Am I correct?
Not that board. It was a whole different group
I
of
don't
people.
mean that's.
And I understand your frustration. I do. But we had our lawyers working things out and then that stopped.
So now, it's only me that I'm going through. I'm not intruding through nobody's property through my deeded right of way.
I understand, but
Okay.
from the town's point of view, the lawsuit happened because there was motorized vehicles down there.
It's
That's how the lawsuit came about. And the town voted to not allow that. I didn't even live here when it happened, Bob. I'm just going off of what I've been able to piece together. And I'm not a lawyer.
who's the chairman?
That's me.
Could you read that note, please? Just where I get an orange. From the orange down. Is that not your job, too? I'm sorry. Read it out loud if you could, please, or I will.
Well, this is just from your lawyer. Our lawyer has a different opinion. This is from your lawyer.
I paid him big bucks, and I'm not losing my money because of that.
But our lawyer has a different opinion. Our lawyer has a different opinion on that.
So let's get a third opinion then.
That's a
Who is
judge.
Huh?
A judge. A judge is the last opinion.
So I'm not gonna get a combination?
You're not.
Or a fire permit for my property?
The fire permit has nothing to do with the board.
Bob, you have a fire permit, Bob. You just didn't let
Oh,
me
yeah,
add.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You have a fire permit.
Three Town Hall, not 1 Deluxe Ave.
It actually, it says Town Hall Road, the rear of your address, Deluxe Ave on it.
No, it doesn't. Oh, well, I'm like that. Talk, I see that. I'll see you on the circle. Well, thank you, people. Did we get anything accomplished? No. Have we gotten anything accomplished in the last 30 years?
Maybe.
Roll call.
I've only been here for 7, so.
So now what? I just gotta, Tell me what I'm doing. What do I do now?
You would
I have a
need,
buildable lot if I come in the railroad bed. I have an unbuildable lot if I come in Town Hall Road. It's not feasible. I have a deeded access down the railroad bed. And that paper you just read says, no matter what you say,
that's your lawyer arguing that point, Bob.
well.
You would need, and our lawyer argued a different point. So you would have to get this in front of a judge, and the judge would have to tell the town he has access or he doesn't have access, motorized access, to be able to put a road there. In the town's point of view, it's not authorized to have motorized vehicles on that road.
Who's making his opinion? The road agent?
No, our lawyer,
From the lawsuit that happened.
our lawyer,
Class 6 highway.
this is the opinion of the town right now.
Opinions are like what?
It was a Class 6 highway when it was a railroad. When it was a railroad. And then once it was given to the town had changed the use of it. And therein lies the issue.
Oh, yeah. Okay. For now, right? For now? or for
Because the
dead?
town had changed it from a road,
So
class
if
6
I
road.
lost all-
That's why you can't drive down it,
So you're gonna...
because it
Well,
became conservation land.
When did it? Oh, never mind. Sorry, guys, I saw I had bored everybody. So I guess I'll see you at a future meeting. Thanks for your, whatever. Yeah.
Have a good night,
What
bud.
do you call it? What do you call it? Discussion. We didn't get nowhere.
We wouldn't get anywhere.
Why wouldn't we? It's a deeded right of way.
Because
I'm gonna go my way
because
tomorrow.
the town's opinion is different from your lawyer's opinion.
It only affects me.
It's the town's
I had a
opinion.
run-in with the lady. I had trouble.
And the town is aware of that, and that's why there's no motorized vehicles there. That's the
The
reason.
peanut trail, mine is not the peanut trail. Look at the sign, it's from the Town Conservation Commission. The peanut trail starts here. Okay, bye-bye. Poor lady's laughing at me.
No one's laughing at you, Bob. Have a nice night. Anybody else for citizens' input? Okay.
I'm gonna hang my sign there, because if the fire department needs to know where it is, it's not behind my mother's house. Okay, it's not behind Freetown Hall Road. Across from the railroad, from the, excuse me, bye. Thank you.
Good night, bud.
Have a good night, Bob.
Next up, the police department.
I wanted to thank the select board for having me here tonight. What I wanted to come and get your blessing on is I've taken some calls on this. The department has entered an agreement with ICE. It's the 287G program. And all it is us cooperating with the federal agency. Nothing's changed. We cooperate with any federal agency, state agency, or local, and that's always been that's what we swore an oath to, and that's what we're doing. So I'm happy to take any questions.
I got a couple.
Okay.
With this program, you're not going and kicking in doors and looking for people,
No,
correct?
not at all. Absolutely not.
And it's only if there's an arrestable,
That's correct.
or not even arrestable, I should say. Like if you pulled somebody over for speeding and you found out that they were here illegally, the process then is what? You just hold them,
We would
or?
hold them and make a call to ICE, and they would decide what happened to them.
Okay.
Whether we hold them, they pick them up, or they tell us to just cut them loose with a speeding ticket.
Okay. And is it gonna take away from anything that our police department's currently doing?
No, not at all. It's never going to take away an officer off the road. If it involves something else where we have to transport, another officer will be called in, and it would not take one of our officers off the street.
Okay. Ashley, do you have any questions?
Yeah, are the taxpayers of Newton going to pay for anything ICE-related?
No, not at all. Any of the labor that it involves with calling in another officer will be reimbursed by the federal government.
Okay. Mike?
I think it's important that you explain to us that this program does not mean that you go looking or targeting certain individuals.
No, not at all. We're just doing our job, just like we always have. You know, if we arrest somebody in domestic, drunk driving, we simply have the tools now to run them through a different database. And if they're wanted by the federal government, then we make a phone call. And that's it. Nothing different. We won't be going to other towns doing ICE raids, nothing like that.
Do you have any examples of how this has worked where you may have, not just you, but any of the surrounding towns may have taken some of these individuals that aren't so healthy for our community?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I believe Sunday, we assisted Kingston, and there was 4 people arrested on a car stop. The one particular one that was arrested by Kingston, I'll just go over some details on this individual. He had 20 different aliases, 5 different dates of birth, 4 different social security numbers. He claimed citizenship in Puerto Rico, but that was false. Multiple drug arrests, possession, cocaine distribution, cocaine distribution in a school zone, failure to stop for police, cocaine trafficking, drug trafficking, conspiracy, assault and battery, carrying a deadly weapon, larceny, 31 plus items in Massachusetts on his criminal history, multiple federal warrants, and he was deported 3 times already. And he was sitting in the passenger seat of the Kingston car that got pulled over. So those are the type of people that are driving through 125 on 108 right through town all the time. And before, we wouldn't know that because we would just run their license, and a lot of Massachusetts people that aren't citizens and don't belong here, they get licenses in Massachusetts. So we'd simply give them a speeding ticket. If it was an arrestable offense, arrest them. We'd have no way of knowing that they were a serious criminal. Now we'll have those tools to know it.
Thank you, Chief.
Yep.
Anything?
I just want to say thank you very much for your transparency and explaining the situation to us. Hopefully put everybody's fears at ease.
Yep. You're very welcome. I always promise to do that, and I will remain transparent. I'll talk to anybody that wants to ask me any questions at the PD anytime.
You gotta go up to the mic.
Sure.
Hi, Laura McDougall. I live in Newton, and I just wanted to know, what is your process if they're driving through, a car is driving through Newton and you pull them over and you see, I mean, if ICE wasn't involved and you didn't have ICE to contact, what would your process be? The same thing? If you looked up on your computer that this guy had all these aliases, or is that information not available to you?
It's not available.
Why is that?
Because the federal stuff isn't available.
Well, I don't know, it's kind of scary that ICE doesn't seem to have too much accountability from what I see on television. So I just hope you guys don't get, and Newton doesn't end up getting bogged down by something that happens, you know? I mean, 2 people died last year. I mean, this past year, because of ICE and their overzealousness. So I understand that I'm glad that guy's out of the picture. Why was he running around with that kind of a record is another question I have, but you don't have the answer to that.
I mean, I can answer generally. The reason why I wanted to sign up and be part of this is because I want to know what's going on. So we absolutely will not do anything that we don't agree with. And that's why I want to be able to be in charge of what Newton does as a community. If there's ever anything that we don't agree with, we'll pull right out of the program. But as far as supporting any federal agency, that be the FBI, as a matter of fact, we're cooperating with the FBI right now on a case in town. We're actually working together. It was our case. We brought them in on it. You know, the public can't know everything that's going on as far as that stuff goes. We just can't. You know, state police will come in all the time and say, hey, we're going to do an arrest warrant. Will you guys help us? And we help them execute that arrest warrant, but the public never knows about it. You know, what we're seeing on TV with ICE is not what's going to be happening here. And, you know, this is not political, but not everything you see on TV is the truth sometimes, depending on what channel you watch.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if anybody has a problem and, you know, is worried about anything, they can contact me at the PD. I'll be happy to sit down with them and talk to them. Total transparency.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Next up, my other chief.
Good evening. Just to clear up, the gentleman that was up first does have a burn permit. He just doesn't like what it says on it. He actually called Concord, and the ranger called me and agreed with the town.
Okay.
So he has a burn permit. He's been burning, I've been here since 2014, he's been burning since 2014. Okay, so, just to clear that half up. Just quickly, I'd like to table the fees. That was brought up by Captain Zelinski, and due to personal reasons, he has not had a chance to reach out and get it in writing of the area departments, and I'd like the board to have the fees of the surrounding departments so you can compare it.
Okay, sounds reasonable.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go into the April calls. For April, there was 59 calls. The majority were obviously EMS, either MVAs, public assists. So there was a total of 59, just to highlight quick. On the 3rd, Plastow ALS assisted Newton with a call at Packer Meadows. On the 5th, East Kingston assisted Newton with a propane leak on George's Way. On the 6th, East Kingston was dispatched as auto aid to assist Engine 2 with a propane, again on George's Way. On the 8th, Newton's A2 was requested by the town of Plastow Fire for medical transport in their town. On the 8th, Kingston Fire was dispatched for an MVA on North Main and Amesbury Road. On the 11th, Plastow ALS assisted Newton with a medical on South Main Street. Again on the 11th, Newton Engine 2 was requested to the city of Amesbury for assistance. On the 12th, East Kingston Fire was dispatched to assist Newton with a brush fire on Willamine. Also on the 12th, repeat days, Tank 5 was requested to respond to Hampton Falls for their mutual aid brush fire. Also on the 15th, Plastow ALS assisted Newton with a medical on Walter Street, I'm sorry. On the 19th, Plastow ALS and Plastow Fire both assisted with a medical on Industrial Way. On the 22nd, Plastow ALS and Plastow Fire assisted with a medical on South Main Street. On the 23rd, Newton Engine 2 was requested to the city of Amesbury for mutual aid. On the 25th, Engine 2 requested Plastow Fire for smoke investigation on Plastow Road. I apologize. And Plastow requested Engine 2 for a smoke investigation. On the 28th, Plastow ALS assisted Newton A2 with a medical on Heath. And also on the 28th, Plastow ALS assisted Newton with a medical on Packer Meadows. The department is continuing to do monthly trainings with East Kingston, Plastow, and East Kingston. Newton's actually hosting tomorrow evening a forcible entry class for all the area departments. Any questions? Alrighty. Next, we are respectfully asking, we have the gentleman here, we're respectfully asking that the board hire the following individuals. Firefighter EMT Paul Antonelli. Forgive me if I say the names wrong. Firefighter EMT Zachary Fawcett. Firefighter EMT Jason Miller. Firefighter EMT Benjamin Whalen. Firefighter EMT Cameron Plank. And EMT Advanced Charles DeNero. The individuals are here if the board has any questions for them. It's your back row and middle row.
So with that said, I move to hire Paul Antonelli as a firefighter EMT at the hourly rate of $24 pending he meets the requirements set forth by the chief.
Second.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
I move to hire Zachary Fawcett as firefighter/EMT at the hourly rate of $24 pending he meets the requirements set forth by the chief.
Second.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Bob. All those in favor? Aye. That's unanimous.
I move to hire Charles Garano as pro-firefighter/EMTA at the hourly rate of $24 pending he meets the requirements set forth by the chief.
Second.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous.
I move to hire Cameron Plank as a firefighter/EMT at the hourly rate of $24 pending he meets the requirements set forth by the chief.
Second.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous.
I move to hire Jason Miles as a firefighter EMT at the hourly rate of $24 pending he meets the requirements set forth by the chief.
Second.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous.
I move to hire Ben Whalen as firefighter EMT at the hourly rate of $24 pending he meets the requirements set forth by the chief.
Second.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Congratulations,
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We appreciate your service.
Welcome aboard.
You guys mind just coming up and introducing yourself to the board?
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, sir. Thank you, sir. Pleasure.
Hey, pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank
Yeah.
Good to see you. Listen, I don't have a lot of pens for you.
Charles.
Oh, right. Got Paul. Okay. If you can just sign that bottom. Oh, no. What was that one? That's. All right, I'm sure.
I just have a couple of just the
Yeah.
points for the board.
Here, come around.
Okay,
Here, I can help you. Yeah, I'm all set. Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Forget exactly what.
Circle back to your paperwork. I'll send it over to the chief's office. Thank you. Congratulations.
What's that? This one's fine. Get to the point. Yes. And the only difference was the one that said pro firefighter.
Probation.
Oh, probation. Yeah. Okay.
So he could have been kept separated from everybody else.
That'd be the, so there'd be 2 instead of 6.
Are we good? You guys got that all set, yeah?
Yeah, it's good. Squared away.
All right, that's good. Fantastic, grand. Next up, 125, what? Oh, go ahead, chief.
Just quick, I just want to let the board know that Engine 1 has been out of service for about 3 weeks now with an oil pressure issue. We're looking at possibly another 3 weeks for parts to come in. A2 went to McFarland Ford today with battery issues. So we're hoping.
Batteries dying or?
Dying.
Okay.
We reached out to Greenwood. The reason it went to McFarland Ford, we have to send it to a Ford dealer to see if it's going to be under warranty. Okay?
So you're gonna end up sending it back to Greenwood? Or actually, no, you're gonna have Greenwood come out.
Or we'll find a local mechanic that can put batteries in it.
So if it's out of
Put
warranty,
batteries in it, but there's still gonna be a draw there that you need to address.
What is believed, other than we have, there's 2 batteries in the diesel. One is just a bad battery. And the question that was asked was, the trucks get plugged in. It wasn't plugged in for, I believe, 1 day. And there's a lot of draw on it. But the trucks we put a battery charger on it to charge it. It runs.
Okay.
We took it to the local mechanic here. He's the one that said it has a bad battery. Greenwood said, don't take it to us until Ford says if it's warranty. If it's not warranty, then we can take it to Greenwood. We're not driving it to North Attleboro, and there's mechanics local that can put 2 batteries in.
All right, chief. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up, we have 125 Development.
How you doing? My name's Coleman McDonough, 125 Development Corporation. Tommy just informed me that we're like 19, 20 years building down in off of Puzzle Lane. We've built out phase 1. We're going into phase 2. We're trying to start the 44 units of housing, and probably roughly around 16 years ago, the planning board came out in out of the blue and said that they weren't accepting insurance bonds for posting surety. There's usually three sureties in every town: cash, tripartite agreement, or an insurance bond. And we're asking the board to try to consider going back to an insurance bond. We have a company, it's Cross Insurance. They're a big major insurance company in the state of New Hampshire. Cross Surety would be posting the bonds. We were with Lowell 5 back, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, and they were posting the bonds, and we had at one point in time like 20 bonds, and it's just getting financial, it's a financial burden for us to keep on posting bonds, because we were with Enterprise, and Rockland took over Enterprise, and they want surety post, they want a CD posted for every bond. So it's financially impacting us. And most every city and town, we work in Ossipee and Wakefield, and they accept insurance bonds. And this is a big entity in the state, well-known, Cross Insurance. I have Sam Goulet, my agent, that he said you're welcome to call him if you have any questions. But we're wondering if the selectmen could take a look at this and see if we could post the insurance bonds instead of, a letter from a bank.
Okay. Is that it, or is there other things too?
No, that's it.
Do you guys have the liability thing written up for the road?
Hasn't been sent over yet.
The liability waiver for the road?
It's due for Thursday.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a,
Okay.
yeah.
I know I was on the planning board when we went back to cash. I can't remember why. So, how many bonds do you have with the town or for the town right now?
I think. No, that's actually with Plastow, whatever. No, I don't think we have any.
None.
No.
They've all been satisfied.
Right, but going into.
You got all your money back, obviously. You know what I mean.
Exactly. Going into phase two, Jim, this is going light years faster than we thought. And we're soon, hopefully, going to be coming in with a letter from DOT to let us go further in the square footage that we can put up. That we can't get buildings up fast enough. And we're going to start the 44 units of housing, which the DOT has, there'll be a letter from DOT. Roger Appleton will write the letter for the planning board, giving us permission. He's going to give us half the units right now, which is 22 units. And we're just finishing up building 4. We're starting building 2, and we've got interest in building 3. So, I mean, within a year and a half, we're going through 200,000 square feet. It burdens me, and not only that, it's just a slower pace for the town to get their tax money in, and it's not like I'm one and done. I've got, this is an $80 million project. You could, the Sammy or planning could stop me at any point in time and say, hey, you didn't do this, we're not giving you the next building permit. So it's not like I'm just building one building. We've got, I'm going to say roughly probably about 30 more buildings, plus all of the housing, which, is well needed in the town. And it's a big burden for us to post all of that. We really can't. I think we're somewhere in the tune of the town wants 300,000, as far as, surety. So.
And you do have a bond with, a bank, the letter of credit from the bank on one that we discussed not too long ago, a few months, to where he said that he didn't have to reissue the letter, but it's good for the additional year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what bond that is.
I think it's Enterprise. It's Enterprise.
Phase 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That we had discussed, and the guy said that it was all good, and he reassured us with that, so.
Right.
And that's not a cash bond, that's just from the bank.
The new bank that took over Enterprise,
Right.
low 5 was super, but it dings against your finance too. It's considered a liability. So every bond that the town wants, is a liability on me. If I have, just for the housing, 300,000, I could be in the millions, that I got to have in a bank account with the new bank, because Rockland wants a CD that I can't touch. So for cash, to write you guys a letter.
Right.
So it's a lot easier for me to pay for the insurance bond, which is a reputable company, been doing business for years and years. It's the same, entity, whatever. I mean, they're backing the town that they'll, if I don't perform, they're going to pay.
Well, when do you need this by?
We're looking by the 9th.
Tuesday.
We're just finalizing. Dan, we got a lot going on. We're looking to get a CO on building 4. There's a new company, B&M Furniture, that came out of Lawrence. We're looking at putting a defense contractor into building 2. We got an aerospace contractor that's looking to go into building 3. We're starting the 44 units. We're doing the roadways. And we've got stuff still going on in phase 1 with, condominiums and.
So is there already a list that the planning board has for the release of the bond? Remember the last bond I did, it had parts, right? You finished the landscaping and then whatever, 50,000 was released. You finished this and then this was released.
Right.
Is that exist yet or no? I guess who came up?
I think that's part, one of the bonds, so they want, that's a precondition of the 44 units. They want all that, bonds, paid. So I'd have to put money in the bank. It's just slowing me down. It's slowing,
There hasn't been any conditions put as far as the bond coming off. It was just, that's just.
So
the
who came
bond
up with
was
these
for-
numbers?
Huh?
Who came up with these numbers? The planning board or?
That's Mike McNally, right?
Town engineer came up with these numbers.
Town engineer came up, he went down, he did assessment on what the cost would be. So part of it was the road, so that if they didn't finish the road, we would be able to pull the bond and use that money to finish that road. And then it's the same thing with the landscaping, so that everything would get put back together the way that somewhat of what it was.
And I think to
So
answer your
that's
question
the
earlier,
cost.
This was not, it had nothing to do with 125 development, but I think there was a development in town, and the contractor got the money back, got insurance, whatever, released them of the responsibility before the road was done, so they wanted that, because it fell back on the town, if I remember history correctly.
So, and then, that's the thing, their road will never be able to become a town road because it doesn't meet the requirements.
That's right.
So
I
they
forgot about
own
that.
that
Yeah.
road.
Right.
Yeah, it's a private roadway, Bob's right. you know.
Exactly.
We maintain it, we cut the grass, we plow the snow. I mean, there's
forgot about that,
zero
you're right.
cost for the
Yeah.
town.
Coleman, how would you feel if we allowed you to do the insurance bond with the 137, but wanted the cash for the 53?
I think, Dan, that, again, I think it's going light years faster than what I thought, and it's just bond after bond after bond. And I've seen, not complaining, whatever, I've seen other projects get approved, and,
Coleman, the only reason why I'm saying that is because you know for a fact you have a history with landscape bonds in landscaping, right? That resident doesn't even live here anymore,
yeah.
but that's what's sticking out to me right now, Coleman. So, and it's just, I don't want to deal with that again. And maybe if it's cash, I won't deal with that again. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'd be willing to do that split. If you can still make that work, Coleman, then I'm willing to do that split.
How does
Me.
it?
I don't know how the
Right.
rest of the board's gonna feel, but that's me personally.
But again, Dan, we're gonna get into that, we're gonna get in a pace where, they're gonna want another bond for this and another bond for that, and, so which ones are you gonna,
Select board doesn't dictate what the planning board does.
okay.
So if the planning board decides that the insurance bonds are fine, then that's fine.
Yeah.
This one's in front of us, right? So this is the decisions that this board has to make.
So this won't be an ongoing thing, it's just for the housing? Yeah,
You haven't brought a bond to the board in 4 years, to this board.
Yeah, it's
Planning,
been
you've definitely
quite a
brought
while.
bonds.
it has been quite a while.
That's my point.
But again, in phase one, at one point in time, my banker notified me that I had like 26 bonds with the town.
Right. but
And
right
that's,
now you have one.
Right, exactly. So we're getting into the 26 again, and, if
I'm not
I,
disputing that, and you're more than welcome to come right back in front of us again if that's
Okay.
the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
But again, you haven't been in front of us in
Yeah.
at least 4 years for this. Planning, absolutely. I
Yeah.
was there.
okay,
But yeah, these are the only two bonds I've seen in 4 years
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's my inclination. I don't know how everybody else feels. It's just only because I have history and I was on the other boards and I know and everything else. Like I said, that resident's not even here anymore. I just don't want to deal with it again, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe if it's cash, Coleman, the board will avoid all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, I'm not you, but that's my line of thought. And I'm being honest with you, that's my line of thought, Coleman, because.
and again, Dan, it's not like I'm one and done. I mean,
I
we got 30 more
completely
buildings.
understand,
Yeah.
but when a resident will come in and say, hey, these trees aren't planted, I can say, he's gonna plant those trees. I know he's gonna plant them. Why? Because he's got $53,000 sitting in a bank account until he plants those trees. That's all I'm saying, Coleman.
Right.
I'm not, it's,
But again, those species of trees, you were on the board after, right? That, I went in and got them
and I
a
completely
waiver to
understand, Coleman, but you
plant
can
native
see-
trees on site.
you can
Yeah.
see my point of view and what
Right.
I'm trying to avoid for our residents too, because
Right.
I have to look out for them as well.
Yeah.
Not just you, and I want you to succeed, Coleman, you
Yep.
know that. But I also need to protect my residents.
Right.
So if it's little ways that the board can do this, then that's what we're gonna do.
Sure.
If the board decides that way. Again, this is just my opinion, the board may vote or decide differently, but that's my opinion, that's how I think we would like to go forward, but we'll see.
Can I speak for one?
Absolutely, Tom.
Tom Lockborg, builder for 125 Development. The landscape bond you're talking about is in Plastow. That's what the work
This
is.
is for Plastow?
No,
Why would we?
because our roadway that goes around is part of Phase 5, it brings us back to Phase 2.
Why would we bond in Plastow?
We had to, they made us.
Plastow?
No, the trees are going in Plastow, but we have to bond with you, because we have sign-offs with Plastow too and everything we do, because a piece of the parcel's in Plastow. So they hung us on a bond on trees that's going behind Miss Jeffrey's house in Plastow. It's technically in Plastow, but the bond has to happen here because the project's in Newton. So I'm just trying to say, so
I get it.
it's kind of like,
I understand.
because we have taken the landscape and went, it's way down, right?
I understand.
But everything, if you drive in Phase 2 right now, the landscape is pretty much all done, right? So, but I'm just trying to say, because I'm like you, I don't want to go back and visit that again. No.
And while we're on the subject of trees, I'm just gonna throw this bug and put it in your ears.
Yeah.
That there were some trees that were promised for Mr. and Mrs. Sweeney
Yes.
in that back area, and you swore to me that they would get put up.
Yeah.
And they told me the other day that they weren't up yet.
We got 6 of them up. We don't have all of them up yet, but we have 6. And we're just hydro seeding and doing that stuff right now, if you could drive in and look.
Just
But we'll take care of it.
checking,
Right.
so I can tell them that I
Okay.
asked.
Okay, absolutely. All right. Thank you.
Bob, you got anything you want to say?
I get it and understand it. If it was gonna be like Mr. McDonough was saying, if it was just gonna be one thing, you know what I mean? But where it is kinda hard with all the development that's taking place in there, to have to put out that much money all around would be difficult.
And I do agree.
Yeah.
And you hear me on record that
Yep.
this is the only ones that we've seen in 4 years. And I don't want him to have 20 bonds out, cash bonds, I don't.
I mean, the only other thing that the planning board could make it a requirement that it can't lapse until we approve it.
We could probably include that in the bond, but, if you want Sam's number, he's my agent, he said, tell the board, they're welcome to call him,
That the planning board has to sign off before it can be released.
yeah.
I'm good with that.
Don't they have to do that anyways?
Not necessarily, no.
Not necessarily.
It's what's the problem?
Because usually, sometimes what happens is that they're given a certain time constraint in order to do all the building and get it up to a certain point and then check all the boxes. And then once everything's up in place and then the Mylars are all recorded, then that's it. And then they can usually just go and have the certificate taken back.
Without anybody actually checking.
Right.
I
But it-
think, I like that idea. I think having the board, the planning board having to, that language gets in there.
Having the language,
I'll
right.
take any of my problems with cash away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
if we
fine.
put,
We're gonna have an agreement with that, we're not
Right.
gonna release it until
right.
the planning
And
board.
then what we'll do is we can have the town engineer and the building inspector go out there and make sure everything's up to snuff.
Yep.
And then once they come back and
That'll
give,
be on the planning board.
that's what I'm saying, and then
So-
they'll give the planning board the approval, everything's done, and then the planning board can sign off. So put that language
Okay.
in it as far as I'm concerned, if you're all set.
What we want is to go out and inspect and deliver a report to the planning board. I want it in writing, that they went out, did the inspection, write up a report the planning board then can vote based off the data that
And
they
then
see.
it stays in
Yeah,
that file.
Mike's good about that. Mike does a full report and a breakdown when he goes to all the different
Okay.
locations.
So I'm okay if we go that route without putting the cash down.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm in agreement with that. It seems to be the viable solution.
I agree.
I'll make a motion to approve insurance bonds in lieu of cash for the.
Can I ask a question, sir, before you make the motion?
Sure.
Thank you. My name's Tim Tanner. I'm the owner of 185, right next to where Coleman's doing this proposed driveway and all that stuff over there. He's already in violation of his driveway permit already. And now you're going to give him courtesy that no other resident would get? He's got trailer trucks in and out of there. He's not supposed to have any trailer trucks, supposed to be straight rigs only. He's already in violation. You're asking for somebody to check off to make sure things have been done. Was the road put into code? Anybody check that from the town? Is that
It's
been
not
signed
gonna
off?
be a town road, so no, it's not up to town expectations.
But I'm just saying,
And
has
we've already made that determination.
So it's never going to be an accepted
Never.
roadway? It's going to be a private way?
It can,
I
exactly.
have, all right, so I have the lot 1 and lot 2 on either side of this. I have a perpetual easement, deeded easement in that property. He has planted 12 trees and put slopes on both sides of it so I don't have access to that roadway except for 20 feet in front of a telephone pole in my building. Is that okay for him to do? It's a private road. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Just let him do whatever he wants and get special consideration from you and I'm chopped liver? I don't understand what's going on here.
He received that access, it wasn't from the town, that was granted by the state.
No, the driveway access is granted by the DOT.
Right.
And it's limited.
Which is the state.
And temporary. The roadway with the trees that were planted and the grass strips and the landscaping, that was approved by the town to cut off my access to my easement.
I don't believe so.
And there's a sign up there, it's, what is it, it's the Southern New Hampshire Industrial Park, a big granite pillar in the corner. I can't even get to 108, it's parked there. Have you guys seen this up there? It goes right through my property. I have an easement to use all 50 feet of that all the way to the back. He knows it. He's just trying to make my life difficult. And I just came here just to find out what kind of consideration this guy's getting, because if he's getting special consideration than any other town resident wouldn't get, there's a problem. This should be fair.
So most town residents are putting up cash bonds.
I understand that.
Well,
But the
that's-
policy here is, and I understand he's developing 153 acres of property, which means he has to realize, in order to do that, he has to put up bonds for whatever he's doing, planning and here, selectmen's bonds. He knows that. That's the regulations. I don't know why we would give him a break.
It's not giving him a break if he still has to get a bond.
But he wants an insurance bond, which doesn't put any penalty on him whatsoever, doesn't have the financial constraints.
But what I'm saying is we don't make anybody else do cash bonds.
There's no other
In
ca-
my history, he's the only one, while I was on planning board,
Yep.
that we made do a cash
And
bond.
why did you do that, Daniel?
It was escaping me before, it's still escaping me now.
Okay, there's a reason.
There was a reason, and it is escaping me because I tried to pin it down when I first talked about it.
All right. You might want to go back and revisit why you had him do that. I'm just saying, he's not living up to the permits from the DOT permit. I went up to see them today. They're aware of it. They're going to have to do something to it, all right? He doesn't even, the people that, the 2 tenants that he has in that building aren't even in that building. He got a permit for straight trucks and boxes for a cheerleading company. He's got straight line trucking in there, has the longest trucks allowed in the state of New Hampshire, pulling up and down that road. He has to cut across my property and trespass to take the turn onto 108, each coming in and coming out. I'm fighting him to reclaim my property. He won't even move his trailer off of my property, his construction trailer. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. This guy isn't all, peaches and cream. And I appreciate he has a right to develop the property, but not to my detriment. And I just want you guys to be put on notice that there's a reason you had him put up a cash bond before, and you should probably go revisit that reason to see if it doesn't stand true today. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Again, Coleman McDonough, 125. We've put in everything in, as you see, by GPS. It's been certified by my engineer, my surveyor. The deed that was originally going back to the old House Chevrolet, there was an easement granted, and I had to give Tim driveway crossing. And I even went in and asked them where they wanted it, although it was depicted on the site plan. I think it's like 24 feet wide. So we gave and provided them with 2 entrances. And I even went in and asked them where they wanted it, and they didn't come out, and, they didn't want to.
No, I'm going to stop you right now. We're not doing this. We're not
Yeah.
going back and forth. We're not going tit for tat.
Yeah, right.
Just-
And my office trailer is on my land. Yeah.
We're not going to do that right now.
Yeah, that's not for us to take up.
So I do recognize what you're going through. I do. I think that by putting in the assurances with the planning board, it has a little bit more than normal than anybody else, just some guy checking off a list and giving it to the insurance company and saying, yep, it's all set, here's your money back. This is a little bit more. What does it cost you for this assurance bond? For this say it's 150 grand. What does it cost you to get it?
I'm not sure, Dan, but I think
You can't ballpark it? 5%, what, monthly? Or yearly, 5%? And that's money gone. You don't get that back. So it's unfortunate that you want to go on the 9th because the board is going to have to see this language before we sign anything. So that it's not probably going to happen by the 9th.
Wouldn't get a condition.
Okay. Because we're going to want to see it and read it. All of us are going to want to see it and read it before we agree to anything.
There's time anyway. We have to do a construction meeting. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening, so it doesn't trigger that one night.
Okay.
We're not starting on the 10th, I guess what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
And it's one of the conditions that's put forth that has to be met for the planning board. So we have been more diligent when we have been putting mechanisms in place to make sure things are getting done and taken care of. Because one of the other things is, like he talked about, he needs to get an updated sign off from the DOT for that roadway.
Okay.
He needs to come before the board because according to what the DOT had given him, was for only, was permissible up to a certain amount of people that would be on location, and that and the structural sizes of the buildings. So once he exceeded a certain structural perimeter, that would trigger the on and off ramps of 108 to that road that would have to be put in. So at this point, he's waiting for the DOT that have to come reassess what's going on, take a look at, and then sign off and make their.
How would they possibly put in turn lanes?
That's the DOT. And I agree with you, but DOT has stated before that X amount, you need a turning or decel lane.
I understand with the number of traffic
And I completely agree with you, like, where is that going? So, so I guess, Coleman, there's no vote to be taken, so to speak, until we see the language. That's where we're at.
I think we're just looking for a blessing, and then we'll go ahead and do it.
I think you should go get the verbiage straightened out and bring it to us, and we'll go from there. That's it. Yeah. I think that's where we're at right now. So,
I just have a quick question. Do you guys remember why you were told that you had to do cash bonds? All right, I was just wondering.
it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, no.
I'm just drawing a blank. Dennis would probably know, to be honest with you.
Or the
Dennis
minutes,
Moran.
right? You get it from the
Or the minutes, yeah. But, okay, that's where we're at.
All right.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next up, we have Todd. You want to talk about it, Todd?
What do you need to know?
So obviously, we have your request for the invitation to bid for the solid waste specifications.
Yep.
Everything, when I looked at it, everything looked good. You obviously went through all your numbers.
Yep.
So I didn't look at this one, did you add the verbiage about the compactors?
There should be added to the list and the stock that, you know, they're gonna provide.
It's at the top, that's why I missed
And
it.
I also put in a provision that if they don't come with maintenance within a day, that you guys have the right to actually fine them or penalize them.
Okay, okay, perfect.
Do you need, this is interesting, do you need, if we penalize them, what's the mechanism of getting them to pay?
So basically what you would do is look at their bill and deduct what you would find as a fine from that bill.
Okay.
And send them a letter saying,
Cost of the repair.
Nope, you want it in writing that you are allowed, you want it in writing that you are allowed to short pay
yep,
in order, because if you leave it open, they're gonna say, well, we didn't decide the mechanism, you have to take me to court now.
so do you have it in front of you? Look at the last page, how I worded it, and just let me know if I need to change that.
I have it if you guys don't.
Which one?
Have a good night, Anne Marie.
I literally landed and came straight here, I didn't get my.
Board of Selectmen also reserve the right to penalize vendor or consider it a breach of contract if emergency repairs are not addressed within a 24-hour period. So I think what Mike's point is the verbiage of
Add in that,
could be short, is it short paying is the verbiage?
Check with legal counsel, the way we use, I'm not the legal guy.
No, you're
But when
not.
we talk about it at work,
Okay.
we always use the word, okay, well, when we talk to these vendors, if we're not gonna go collecting, we're gonna short pay.
right,
There is legal language that our legal team puts in there.
okay.
Do we know
I just
do
don't.
we know what that shot pay would be, though?
Yeah, you gotta
That
come
needs
up
to be
with a
determined.
figure, that's
That-
the one thing that we know that we're gonna have to put in
I
there.
almost would put it in for the cost of the repair. That's how I would word it, short pay for the
Yeah,
cost
that's a
of
good idea.
said repair. Because if they don't come out in 24 hours, we're calling somebody else and they're gonna repair it.
Right.
And we're gonna short pay it that amount.
Right.
So it would be, I'll have, if that's like the only thing that you guys want, we'll have the board, we'll have Paula get the verbiage right on it, and
It's
then,
short pay plus administrative cost to us. So then, if he's running around for 3 hours because they're
looking for a part.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it's that plus administrative. And Eric would know the right language, so
That's fine. So if we're just adding that to the bottom, we can have that done, and I'm fine.
Okay.
With the way the rest of it reads, it's, because it's, we're trying to get people in here anyways.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, we're gonna have another, once we find a company, we're gonna have a whole nother one written up again.
Oh, yeah.
A whole nother contract that we're all gonna go through, so.
Right.
With that being said, I'm good with the way it's written, with the modifications that Paula will put on there, and, yeah, good job. Good
All right,
work.
thank you. And that's it?
Unless somebody else has questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Joe?
No, I'm good.
Ashley?
work on this, Todd, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right,
All your hard work.
thank you. All right, guys, thank
The
you.
only thing I would say is the mattress thing, if they don't want to touch mattresses because they're from Mass, like, that's the other thing we have to look at, right?
That's why I put it in there as an alternative bid.
Yeah.
So they can, whether they want to or not, they'll can come at me with
Yeah.
it. I couldn't find a lot of the numbers on some of that stuff, so I'm still kind of researching that.
Yeah.
I figured by the time it goes out, I'll have those numbers.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
Go ahead, you can make the motion.
I move to approve the request for bid for solid waste services proposed
With
with the
the amendments that we're making for the short pay.
Second.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous. All right, next up is the renewal of the lease agreement for 8 Merrimack Road to Civil Construction Management. They have been renting there for how many years? I'm going to ask Joe Simone, because I don't know. It's longer than I can
As long
remember.
as I can remember.
All right.
Yeah, a long time.
So they lease out office space that's part of the police station, just so everybody's clear. And they've been doing it for years. He's a good tenant and obviously pays on time, otherwise we wouldn't keep doing it. So with that being said, I'll accept a motion to approve their one-year lease.
Ashley?
Huh?
Ashley?
Oh, do
I
you have a
move
question,
to
Ashley?
No, she.
Oh, no, he wants me to read it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I move to approve a one-year lease with Civil Construction Management, Inc. for 8B Merrimack Road in the amount of $10,200 for the lease term.
Second.
Motion made by Ashley, seconded by Joe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that is unanimous. Okay. Tax price, 1,410. These in order? They are.
So one is, they're both the same property. It's, one is the warrant, one's the tax bill. So you have to sign both.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we have a land use change in tax map. 1-4-10, 37 White Cedar Way. I guess I have one logistics question. There's
gonna be more of those. It's a
and I completely know that. Is he aware of all this?
Yes.
He is,
Yeah.
okay. That's all I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I move to approve the warrant and tax bill for tax map number 1-4-10 as approved by the assessor.
Second.
Motion made by Ashley, seconded by Joe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That is unanimous.
And I move to approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
Motion made by Ashley, seconded by Mike. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That is unanimous. Building department will be closed tomorrow, June 3rd, 26th, for training. The town's new website is active. The migration was smooth. However, some minor growing pains. The job opportunities link is broken and should be fixed shortly. Paula, I didn't hear anything from you tonight, but would you like to, is there anything you would need to discuss? No? You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Bob, how's the planning board going?
Good. Everything, like what we were just talking about with Mr. McDonough. There was a company that wants to go in that we've had some opposition with because it's a company that wants to provide natural gas. So they want to put 2 big tanks in down there. However, even though it is a watershed area, because it is natural gas, it really wouldn't affect the groundwater because of the way that if it was to, there was an issue with the tank, it ends up evaporating, right? However, they want to be able to install a couple diesel tanks there to be able to fuel up their own trucks. So we've had some opposition from some of the people on the Plastow line that that live just on the other side of it. Some of the town residents here, because that building supposedly where they want to put it in is right next to that natural gas line that we have that runs through town. That's before the planning board. And
Do you guys contact DES for stuff like that?
so they have to pull permits, and they are legitimately where they want to build. It's far enough away from that to where it's not. But of course, some of the residences, worst case scenario, you have diesel, you have natural gas, and then you've got an underground pipeline. So if something goes, 911 responders are gonna have their hands full if something like that happens, so.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of safety precautions, of course, that get put into place, so there's that. The big thing that they're doing over in Kingston, with all those housings, right now they're doing the road survey, traffic survey, I should say. So that's underway. And we should be getting that soon, as far as what's going on with that.
All right. Joe, how's rec going?
Just want to let everybody know that the beach is going to be open, and the rafts are in, the lines are in, and we're fully functioning. The lifeguards will be on duty on the weekends for now.
Okay.
So it should be good.
Good. Mike, you got anything?
I'm good.
Ashley?
Our Parents' Night fundraiser is going to be Saturday, June 13th at the Hen House. It's our biggest fundraiser for our Baseball Softball Association. Tons of raffles, musical bingo, and just kind of to end the season on a high note. So spread the word.
Where's it gonna be?
At the Hen House.
How's the seasons going so far?
Very, very good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. With that being said, everybody's good. I'll accept a.
Could I just say something real quick?
You know what? I've been letting everybody else do it. I'm gonna let you.
Appreciate it. Hi, good evening. My name is Scott Rollins. I'm a resident of Newton. I just wanted to take a minute to congratulate all of our graduating seniors out of Sanborn. They're graduating this Friday. I think the class is an amazing class. They've done a lot of really great things over at the high school, and all of these seniors going out are going into trades, colleges. They've got a lot of scholarships that were granted, and I just wanted to congratulate all of them publicly and let them know we're really proud of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
My kid's one of them, so.
Mine too, it's not at Sanborn anymore, but.
All right, so with that being said, I'll accept the motion to go into non-public.
Motion to go in a non-public session under RSA 91-A:3C, reputation.
Second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Joe. That's a roll call vote. Ashley?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Dan is an aye. Joe?
Aye.
And Bob? That's an aye. Thank you very much, people. Residents.